It's always tough when you can't go to your son's graduation. You know, he's a great student and he's a good boy, and you tell him you can't go to his graduation. This judge said that you can't get away from the trial.
Did he? And do you want to go to your son's graduation? These are questions that many are asking. Many people are asking these questions. So over the past few weeks, former President Donald Trump had been relentlessly blasting Judge Juan Merchan for not letting him attend his youngest son, Barron's graduation. But apparently, he might actually be skipping it for a campaign fundraising event.
Of course.
1,000 miles away in Minnesota. Okay, so it's actually not true that the judge refused to give him time off the trial in order to go see his son graduate. It was reported earlier this week that Trump is set to co-host, though, the Lincoln-Reagan dinner alongside GOP House Majority Whip Representative Tom Emmers. This is taking place on May 17th in St. Paul, Minnesota. There's the invite for the fundraiser, which is set to begin at 5 p.m. local time. Keep that time in mind because it is going to be relevant. Now, Minnesota GOP party chair David Hahn confirmed that Trump is in fact going to attend, stating, "We are thrilled to welcome President Trump back to Minnesota to headline our Lincoln-Reagan dinner, an annual tradition that reminds us of the roots of our party and the leaders who have been most impactful in promoting our American values." Now, Trump and his family have been saying over and over again that Judge Juan Merchan was barring him from his own son's graduation. Here's Eric Trump, for instance, saying, "Judge Merchan is truly heartless in not letting a father attend his son's graduation." Now, if you're watching this, you obviously see that there is a community note attached to that tweet. And if you actually read it for yourselves, it makes clear that the judge actually hadn't made a decision yet on whether or not he would allow Trump a day off the trial in order to go see his son graduate. And then at the time, Merchan had said a decision on Trump's request would be premature, adding his decision depends on if we are on time and where we are in the trial. Now, fast forward 2 weeks, and surprise, the judge says, "You may attend your son's graduation, enjoy." Now, he says, "I don't think the May 17th date is a problem," Judge Merchan said. The judge later said court would not be in session that day, nor would it be on the following Friday, May 24th, before the Memorial Day long weekend, which is coming up, and I'm super excited about it. Now, Trump's participation in this Minnesota fundraiser, though, might be an issue because, again, it's on the same day, May 17th. However, Cenk, he might be able to swing both. We just don't know if he's going to.
Yeah, so first my thoughts on graduation, then I'll get back to Trump. My family convinced me to go to my daughter's preschool graduation. I was like, is that a thing?
Yes, Cenk, come on.
Is that a thing?
It's your daughter.
Preschool graduation?
I'm gonna say.
Was it in question that she was gonna graduate from preschool?
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something that some might find outrageous. But if I had children, I would 1,000,000% feel that the preschool graduation, the kindergarten graduation, that's coming too, the 5th grade graduation, the middle school graduation, and the high school graduation are the better graduations. Right? They tend to be smaller, they tend to be more intimate and personal, and it's your child. It's a stepping stone in her life. You should celebrate it.
Yeah, so did I go? Of course. Did I enjoy it? Of course.
See?
Okay, but like for my own graduations, I didn't care about a single one of them until law school because I didn't understand what the big deal was about. Like, were we not going to graduate? Was I just gonna be like, oh, I don't know what to do?
Look at the big brain on this guy.
No, but like,
I'm kidding.
But honestly, like, I get that it's a big deal for some people. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but it was not in doubt. But with law school, it was a little in doubt. Like, I hated law school. Well, I didn't hate law school. I just didn't want to study. So when I made it to graduation, I was like, okay, this one was a thing. Let's go to this thing, okay?
I hear you. Look, in terms of importance tied to the milestone, yes, the college graduation or the graduate graduation, definitely more important. But in terms of what I think is more celebratory and intimate and important in terms of like being with family and being happy for the milestones they've reached, I like the smaller graduations, and they tend to be for earlier years in a person's life.
Yeah, so now if I said to my family that I'm not going to my kids' high school graduation, first of all, I'd get my mom going, okay. And then all hell would break loose. That is not remote. And if I said, I'm going to a political fundraiser on the same day across the country. No way, no way, okay. So look, he has a privilege that the rest of us don't have. He has his private jet, he's got a bed in there, he's got everything there. He doesn't like to stay in hotel rooms too much because he's such a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And so he's got his own, so can he do both? He might be able to pull off both. Did he really care about going to Barron's graduation? And that's why he was complaining about the judge. Come on, MAGA. No one else believes that. Come on, MAGA. You don't believe that either. Come on. Like, you've never heard a thing about Barron Trump.
That makes me sad, though. It makes me sad because I feel like even you don't care too much about those graduations.
Yeah, but I love my kids. I care. Like, that's why I said earlier in the show, like, has he ever watched a ball game with his kids? Has he ever played like a board game with them? And has he taken them to golf? He loves golf. Like, I love football. Me and my son, we watch football every Sunday. Yeah. We watch all the basketball games together. My daughter and I watched all the How to Train Your Dragon shows and movies and everything. Do you get the sense that Trump's doing that with his kids?
I have no idea.
We don't know. To be fair, we don't know their personal lives, etc. But I mean, he could barely remember Tiffany's name. Okay, so
yeah, he's got a weird thing against Tiffany for sure, right? But and his older sons. He seems to just like one of his kids, but even her, Ivanka, he might have soured on her because she's like, I don't want anything to do with your re-election, your attempted re-election, right?
Yeah, because, okay, look, last bit of psychoanalysis, and you could disregard it if you want, but Trump has constantly talked about how good his genes are. He even once said, I have good German genes.
Oh my God.
Oh, disaster, okay. And so, but when he looks like Beavis and Butthead, Eric and Don Jr.,
yeah,
he's gotta be thinking, do I? Okay, and so he's disappointed with his kids, my guess is because he sees himself in those kids.
Oof, deep.
Okay, and as his dad was disappointed in him, he's disappointed in his kids. The only kid he wasn't disappointed in was Ivanka because she's the only one who's not a moron. And so he was like, there we go, the good German genes, Ivanka, okay. So that's my psychoanalysis for what it's worth, and you take it or leave it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.